This Japanese man walks up to me, very elderly, walking the coastline. He says, "You from America?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I've been to America." I said, "You have? When did you go to America?" He says, 1944. I said, "Oh, that's a long time ago." He said, "Yeah." He said, "I went Grand Canyon." I said, "What were you doing at Grand Canyon?" He says, "During war." He says, 600 Japanese brought to America to tunnel through Grand Canyon. Dynamite. He says, "We were blowing up Grand Canyon." I said, "Well, what was the purpose? What were you mining for?" He says, "Not mining." He says, "Looking." I said, "Well," the interpreter said, "Explain." And he says, "Looking for big giants. Looking for giants." And he got really quiet, and he got really quiet. And he said, I not tell all these years, not tell. He says, family, I tell, promise not tell. And I told the interpreter, I says, tell him he's safe, that he does need to tell. He says, you know about giants? I said, yes. I know about nephilim, yes. He says, you do? And I said, yes. He says, And he got really quiet. And he talked to my interpreter, and then he said, tell American, I go Grand Canyon. He says, enter into big mine, big doors, 20 feet high, big solid doors. He says, we blew the doors open. This is coming from the interpreter now. Blew the doors open, and out come big giants. We flee for our life. He says, some not get away, and some not get away. I asked my interpreter, what did they do at that point? He says, brought in big helicopters, take us out, but put us in confinement for days and days and days and days. And they weren't going to let us out because we might tell. But finally, the interpreters told me that they finally, after days and days and days of them being in confinement, they finally let the few that were left go back to Japan. And he not tell all those years. And that was in 2012. He had not told anybody about the giants that they found. And they were alive.